It was the streak seen across the sky where a family called 911 claiming to see aliens in their backyard.
Watch out! Oh! It's the doorbell camera video that's raising a lot of questions. A man walks out of a house and in an instant he's beamed up to outer space.
It's the story that's gathered worldwide attention.
I swear to God, this is not a joke. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes, they have big eyes.
Go! No! Run!
You believe you saw something that wasn't from this planet?
I believe I saw something, yeah.
Next time, if you hear some weird noises coming out of your backyard, think twice. Otherwise, this might happen to you as well. A few years back in Russia, a man, after hearing disturbances in his backyard, decided to go out for an investigation. Thinking of a bear, he took out his camera to record the culprit. Yet what he came across was far scarier than his imagination. A giant pale figure suddenly appeared out of nowhere and jumped on the roof. With no visible facial features, the creature just stared at the guy and disappeared from the scene, leaving behind no clues. The video quickly went viral, with people starting to call it a humanoid alien that suddenly vanished after offering a rare sight. However, it is yet to be confirmed, as authorities are refraining from giving any kind of statement. Freaky figure. Bet on this one. This was a close encounter with an alien. A man was in the jungle at night, perhaps wood collecting to ignite a fire in the cold weather. However, as he was collecting them, he heard some strange noises coming from behind a tree. I'm sure he might have expected wild animals and was mentally prepared for that. Instead, what came out of the tree was not a wild animal, but another creature. And you know what it could be? Yep, see it for yourself. A plain white body and elongated head, hawk eyes, and looking around in a very skeptical way. It seemed like it had just come out of its dwelling and was on the hunt. Thankfully, it didn't notice the man and immediately jumped to other bushes, vanishing from the scene. The man also didn't waste any more time standing there and came out of the jungle hurriedly. Dark monster. Don't fear the dark, but fear the creatures that live in it. They are all spooky and ghostly. While walking in the woods, this man came across a creature that was glued to the tree. It wasn't a monkey, certainly not, and it had a horrifying face and a strong body like one you'd never seen before. As the man spotted it and looked again at the tree, it was gone, just disappeared. Having seen enough for one night, he decided to go home, and while heading home, he encountered this creature again. This time in a very close encounter near a cave, where it seemed to be engaged in some sort of ritual in the middle of the jungle. Perhaps it was trying to call more of its friends. Whatever it was doing, it sent a wave of fear through the man, and he ran away from the jungle. Thankfully, he remained safe, but the creature remains a mystery. Pale figure. Whenever we hear the term alien or even think about it, well, that's the perfect image that comes to mind. An imp with a bent backbone was caught walking in quite a strange way near a house in Kentucky, as if it were trying to find people to scare or take away to its dwelling. And we all know what happens in such places. Come on, you must have seen it in movies. When a ghost captures its prey, it annihilates them. But before doing that, it wants them to beg for annihilation. That's the real dogma of aliens, and that's what it was trying to find in the neighborhood. Thankfully, its struggle seems to have gone in vain. However, it triggered fear in the surroundings as it vanished from the spot after a little search, and people were skeptical that it could reappear again. And that's when the real trouble could happen. Well, we just pray and hope that such a situation never comes to pass. E.T. Visitor. To record what happens in the forest at night, a young adventurer decided to spend a few hours there, Soon, after some time, he felt the presence of someone else there. Sensing someone behind the bushes, the man meticulously hid and started recording. Horrifically, out of nowhere, a horrible creature jumped out. It must have been because of the camera's light. It sensed danger and came close to the tree where he was hiding. This guy surely had nerves of steel, as he didn't panic, but kept filming there to see it further. The creepy being, instead of running away, suddenly charged towards the guy. And this is exactly where the clip ended, leaving behind many questions. Did that guy manage to survive? Or did he become a victim of that ET visitor? No one's sure what happened next. Nightcrawler. Have you ever wondered how aliens walk? Well, here it is. They walk by bending their bodies, just like this one that was caught on camera crawling on a huge log with 4 legs. Check its height, guys. It seemed like 6 feet, even in a bent position. And how vigilant it was, checking all its surroundings to evade the threat if it came. More importantly, see how silent it was. Its footsteps made no noise, depicting that if aliens walked toward us from behind, we'd never be able to sense them or hear their footsteps. Yet another insecurity unlocked, folks. We have to be careful, because if these are all aliens and they exist among us, then there's a good possibility that we may encounter them. And that would be the last thing on Earth I'd wish for. Horned man. We've all seen animals with horns, but a human-like creature with horns? That's something out of the box. While searching for his lost dog, he was stunned to see a weird-looking figure peeking through the window. It had a human-like head, but strangely with small horns. However, what was more shocking was that the figure suddenly disappeared when the guy threw a flash at it. However, it appeared right as he switched off the flash. To search for that figure, that man went to the specific apartment, only to find out it was locked from the outside. Neighbors of that building said this apartment had been locked for more than 6 months. Here comes another mystery on top of a mystery, guys. God knows what secrets that apartment holds. Only time will tell. Ghost alien. The driver deserves a citizen bonus for maintaining control of the vehicle in such a sudden and unexpected situation. Look how swiftly the ghostly apparition appeared out of nowhere and quickly passed right in front of him. Most of us might have ended up crashing, but not this driver. Now, let's get back to the creature at hand. Even though it was challenging to recognize this strange organism, its speed was incredible. In slow motion, you could see its strong body, powerful hands, and big-sized head. So it was definitely not human. But it didn't resemble any known animal either. So, what could it be? Well, it could be anything, guys. You already know that our world is slowly becoming home to species or organisms that we've never encountered before. So could this be someone visiting our Earth for the first time? What are your thoughts on it? Unbothered Creature. You already know that jungles are the most terrifying places, not only due to wild animals, but also because of the mysteries and other anomalies they hold. And if you're thinking of going there at night, I would suggest think again. Otherwise, you may have an encounter with this kind of creature, hiding in the bushes. Recorded by a hiker in the dense woods, when he felt he was not alone, it sparked a wave of fear down his spine. And there it was, peeking from behind the bushes. A creepy creature was found spying on that guy. Small, scary, and sharp, standing still and looking for the best opportunity to strike the hiker. However, after realizing he was noticed by the hiker, the spying entity wasted no time and vanished into the woods. It didn't reappear, and the hiker came out of it safely. Flying Witch. They say nothing good happens after midnight. Well, that's true, to a pretty great extent. A truck driver was resting at his home when his truck suddenly started beeping. He hurriedly opened the door, and what he saw on his truck stunned him. A mysterious creature just sitting on the roof of the vehicle. As it spotted the man, it immediately jumped from it and did a handspring. Its acrobatic movement scared him, and he immediately shut the main door to protect himself. Later, when he looked out the window, he didn't find anyone. Perhaps it went to its dwelling, and that could be from out of this world. Mexican alien. For those who don't believe in aliens, here's some physical evidence. A team of scientists found a mummified alien in Peru, South America, which was later revealed to the Mexican Congress.
It is unlikely that purported aliens shown in Mexico this week came from another planet.
It looked like an alien corpse, perhaps 700 to 1800 years old. There's no doubt about that, said the experts, who conducted extensive research on it. They found out that this corpse had 3 fingers and an elongated head. While people in the past did have some elongated heads, and they had short height as well, which made them imp. Some people are often found in a few tribes. Though its appearance resembles an imp, its mysterious fingers tell another story and suggest it could be an alien corpse. Furthermore, they stated it had eggs inside of its body, revealing more shocking details that suggest they were able to breed, and the world could have alien babies. I know you're scratching your heads too, just like me when I read about it. And that's what it is. The world certainly is a strange place for us. Alien remains. A couple of friends found this mysterious, pitch-black creature lying on the side of the road. At first, it seemed like an animal, but when they examined it thoroughly, it bore no resemblance to any known animal species. The men, who claimed to work in wildlife, stated that they had never encountered anything like it before. They began to entertain the idea that it might be an extraterrestrial being that had fallen from the sky. The creature had a thick layer of body that resembled wings, which could have been used for flying. Its sharp and elongated teeth were enough to send chills down one's spine. Fortunately, the men were lucky not to have encountered this alien-like creature while it was alive. Later, it was sent to a research center for further examination. Confined Mystery. When you live on farmland, there's no telling what you may or may not come across. A farmer, after a long, tiring day, was about to go home when he felt someone in his storeroom, like as if someone was knocking. Ignoring it at first, he then decided to look for the invader. What he witnessed was quite horrifying. A peculiar creature with a short height was sneaking through the wooden planks. Although the man couldn't see its face clearly, its large eyes shining in the dark were enough to send shivers down his spine. They were surely not human eyes. And besides that, it seemed to have an elongated head, depicting it as a creature from another world. Its sneaking behavior spread fear in the man, compelling him to run for his life. Although it must have been hard for him to sleep peacefully that night, somehow he survived. Flying humanoid. I think we've been so indecent in this world that Jesus himself is coming down to school us. Isn't that what it looks like according to this video? A California man who had a home near the airport recorded this video. Out of his home's window, he noticed a strange human-like creature coming down from the sky, and he called it Jesus. Well, I mean, it might be. Since the video surfaced on the internet, it sparked curiosity among people to find out what it was. Many people claimed they had seen such a sight before, and some mentioned that since their kids were afraid of going out after spotting a flying humanoid, some people argued it could be a flying object like a drone. Well guys, we all know that airport areas are strictly a no-go place for drones, or things like it, so it couldn't have been that at least. And what it truly was is still a mystery, as it has always been to people living in that area. Gloomy Eyes. All credit goes to this bus driver who didn't freak out even after spotting this thing appearing from the dark. Going back to his home after a tiresome day, a bus driver thought he was traveling all alone, but this was exactly when things took a scary turn. He felt something really strange, just as if someone else was also present with him. To investigate, he looked behind and was shocked to his core. Someone in the back seat was looking at him. With dark circles around its glowing eyes, the tiny pale passenger suddenly came out and almost stared into his soul. He immediately stopped the bus and jumped out to seek help. But no one was able to find the tiny cryptid, who might have already gone just before the inspection started. The Shadow.
It's inside now. Tap it on the window out. There.
Yeah.
Top window.
Yeah.
This scary video was filmed a few weeks back when a man in Florida went out one night to investigate some strange noises coming from an abandoned house in his neighborhood. He noticed something weird in one of the windows. A shadowy figure emerged out of nowhere, and before he could record it further, it suddenly vanished. Strangely, it appeared again, but this time from another window. Weirdly enough, it passed out of sight again, only to emerge from the window with yellow light. This time, it looks even more scary, as the shadow got darker and bigger than it was before. It vanished, and then never came back.
Bottom window? What the hell is going on?
Although he couldn't see clearly who it was, the guy claimed that it might be the ghost of the person who used to live in that haunting building. He immediately came back to his home, as it could have been dangerous to stay out there. After that one night, he didn't hear the noises again, and never witnessed the shadow again either. Strange. Mysterious eyes. A man was passing by a car when his eyes locked with the gloomy eyes of a woman sitting in the back seat. These were the kind of eyes that no one could forget if they'd ever seen them once. It intrigued him, and he couldn't resist to know more about it, so he opened the door. There was no one in the car, sending his fear level skyrocketing. The woman had vanished, like she was never there in the first place. And wait for the most head-scratching part, you guys. The woman reappeared as the car started moving. Now, if I was there, I would have freaked out. But hats off to the man's calmness. He then fled the scene and ran toward a crowded place nearby. Surely this man had one rough day, thinking that the night could be better, and it only got worse for him. Hairy beast. A man on an excavator was working in the woods when he felt someone watching him from a distance. However, at first, he looked around but couldn't find anyone. But when he was reversing his excavator, he noticed a giant black-covered creature standing far away from him, behind the bushes, observing this man. His instant reaction was Bigfoot. He fled the scene immediately. But when he came back with his fellows, they couldn't find anything, although everything was recorded on the camera that was fitted around the place. It's hard to tell whether it was an actual Bigfoot or some otherworldly beast. Some say it could have been a bear, but bears don't usually hide like that. So what could it be, guys? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Chasing freak. A man was driving to his home, passing through the countryside, when all of a sudden he saw a weird creature whose face was not clear, apparently looking like a man. But what kind of man? That's the million-dollar question. Its eyes were glowing in the pitch dark, and these were the only things one could notice. Some more cars passed this weird creature, but it didn't run towards them. Instead, it specifically ran for this car, made a growling noise and more. Thankfully, the man didn't stop his car and further accelerated it. He remained safe, came out of the countryside, and reached his home. I don't think he slept very well that night. No one could have slept after that incident. The next day, the man reported the incident to the cops, and they later found out that it was a drunk man who had been teasing people that night. However, they did charge him and made sure that he would not repeat the same mistake. Climbing creep. These trees in the middle of the jungle were thrown away as if they were mere leaves. Although it was caught on camera, no one was visible at the location to whom we can blame. Humans certainly can't do it. They don't have that kind of power, and neither could we see any excavator there. This mystery became more mind-boggling when the camera zoomed in, and the mysterious black-colored species became visible. It was sitting beside the tree, and it was not some kind of animal. If it were an animal, it would have fled that scene right away when the tree fell, but it didn't run away. This raises so many questions, and an important one is, could it be that creature with such powerful hands could pull off a tree from its strong roots? If this theory's correct, there's a big challenge ahead for the wildlife authorities and researchers too. Lost in woods. Is that a White Walker? Because next on the list is a creepy creature who was hiding behind the tree and looked almost exactly like a White Walker. I wonder how the man recording this video came out of it safely. Just look at the weird body formation. Dusty, skinny, cold, and whatnot. However, after coming out of the woods, he quickly informed the authorities and showed them the video. But they couldn't find any trace of that species. Maybe there's a hidden spot of the jungle where it went for safe passage. Well, no one knows what other mysteries these woods are hiding from us. Wooden creature. A group of campers after dinner were strolling into the woods when they came across this peculiar creature lying lifeless on a tree. It was nowhere close to any known animal, as no one had seen such a species before. It looked like a wooden creature with an unusual face and twisted fingers supported by small hands. Filled with curiosity, one of them took a wooden stick to check it out by moving it slightly. They failed to recognize this creature. However, they called the wildlife department, who then came and took it with them. The final report on that species is yet to come. And don't stress out, folks. We will get back to you very soon with more information about it. White Freak. A man was driving home, passing through an empty road, when he noticed this white-dressed person in the distance. It had long hair, no shoes, was completely dressed in white, and was walking on the road like it feared no one. It seemed like a human. But I don't think we're brave enough to be in such an uninhabited place late at night. I feel this person was being dictated by someone, or was in control of something. As this white creature noticed a car, it immediately ran toward it. Fortunately, the driver was clever enough and didn't wait for the scary creature to come near the car. He immediately reversed it and took a different turn. It is a humble piece of advice for you guys as well. Never stop a car at such places. Mysterious crawler. After watching this, I'll never ever travel on such roads again in my life. Just check this out, guys. A man stopped a car midway on this empty road, and the reason was this creepy creature who had no dress on its body and was sitting in the middle of the road. The man did press the horn, but it didn't affect the crawler. Instead, it started crawling backwards and had the intention to approach the man sitting in the car. However, the man sensed its plan and put his car in reverse, driving slowly. That creepy crawler stood up and started running backward. Or it might have had its front pose. Who knows? It started running backward, approached the bushes, and instantly vanished into them. The man drove off home and never encountered this creature again because he never went that route again. Walking legs. That's terrifying, guys. Imagine you're walking down the street, and all of a sudden, someone like this emerges. This creature, whatever it was, had no head or body. All it had were legs. CCTV installed at an undisclosed location captured these odd walking legs and has become a mystery ever since. The video surfaced online, but no one can still identify those weird limbs. Even authorities were unable to debunk the theories that circulated about this perplexing discovery. So, could this be some kind of otherworldly being trying to invade our towns, or someone pulling a fake stunt to gain fame? The Nun? Imagine if the Nun character really existed. Where would you run to hide? Well, you probably have no place to hide, because they know everything, just like in the movies. And here is another nun encounter. A man was driving on an empty road that often passes near the countryside. Suddenly, his car came across this figure that apparently looked like a nun. A lady in a white, long cloth. Just when he tried to avoid this life form, it instantly jumped and almost hit the car. This supposed nun creature was enough to cause damage, but the man's calmness helped him and gave him time to think. He swiftly crossed this mysterious being, fled the scene, and reached home safely. Spying stranger. A man, while filming the video of his home, got the biggest shock of his life when he turned the camera upwards. A strange creature covered in white was looking at him from the roof. I still wonder why he didn't scream. It must be due to fear, as he went speechless for a while. However, this spooky being didn't stay there for long and quickly disappeared. The guy managed to capture it on camera and shared a video online to get some clues about it. People started calling it an alien, while a few said it could be someone secretly spying on that guy, because if it was an alien, why did it run away? Really an alien, or just a hoax? What do you think, folks? Stranded zombie. Everything about this video is mysterious. You may be astounded by this creature's behavior, which resembled more like an alien or zombie than a normal creature. Well, I'm scratching my head over this strange place too, guys. Where on earth could it be? And check this species' behavior. Skeptically looking here and there to find someone who could give assurance that it was not alone. It sat for a moment, though after a futile search, it must be God's lonely man at that moment. Well guys, when we did a little research about this place, we came to know that it was leaked footage from NASA. Sounds crazy, right? Well, listen more. It was straight from the moon. And that was not an alien walking on it. NASA's robot collecting samples from the moon. And yeah, you could be on the moon too someday, only if you start studying with dedication. The chicken dance. I never knew aliens could dance until I watched this video. A mysterious creature with a strange body formation and short height like a dwarf was caught on a home CCTV camera in La Junta. It certainly had a weird head. There was something attached to it, like a small tail on the head. And the thing popped up from nowhere and was found dancing while passing the garage. People called the police to seek help. But this creature has baffled even their heads as well. And they're determined that they will protect the whole neighborhood and would check more cameras in the surroundings to find its whereabouts. However, after a thorough investigation, the cops concluded that it was not an alien or any other creature from a different planet, but a young kid who was wearing a hat and a slim hoodie that made him look like an eerie creature through the security camera. So folks, no need to panic. Just relax and enjoy your day. It's time for today's open discussion. You know what's scarier than jungles? Abandoned places. They hold mysteries that are home to creatures that you would never want to encounter in your lifetime. Even though people often avoid such locations, this man sought adventure in his life and decided to trek to an abandoned place far from the city. It was just a one-room house with no lock. As he entered, what he saw could compel him never to embark on such adventurous trips again. A crawling creature, lying upside down and moving slowly, was enough for the man to hold his breath. He immediately shut the door and ran away. I mean, that's what I would have done too. But I also never would have gone there. The image of a skinny, white crawler with undoubtedly malicious intentions will haunt this man for some time. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.